Hello BookTube. Today I'm doing the book buying tag. I'm pretty sure I've done this tag several times before, but I love book buying tags, so happy to do this one. And I saw it on Britta Bowler, so I will leave a link to her video in the show notes below. And Britta was inspired by Time to Read's video, so I'll leave a link to that video as well. So let's get going. Prompt number one, or question number one. In this case, they're questions. Where do you buy your books? I use a number of sources, primarily online. Due to the COVID-19 pandemic, I haven't gone in-person book shopping in years, since 2020. Although I did go to Barnes & Noble about a little more than a month ago for my birthday, and it was a great experience, and I would love to go in-person book shopping more in the new year. But for now, all of my book buying is online. I primarily use Book People. They're the storied independent bookstore in Austin, Texas, where I spent as much time as I could when I lived there. Powell's, the storied independent bookstore in Portland, Oregon, which was my favorite place to go when I visited Portland a decade and more ago. I also use Amazon, Alibris. They're a used book site. Book Depository. They're a UK-based bookseller who's affiliated with Amazon. I also use Labyrinth Books, which is a used bookstore that is affiliated in some way with Princeton University, I think. I also shop with a number of university presses, Princeton, University of Chicago, LSU, and other sources, other booksellers as I need to. But those are the primary ones. Question number two. Oh, and I guess, since I don't know quite if there are any questions relating to plans, but I'm also hoping to again visit Barnes & Noble in the future, as well as some used bookstores in my area, Golden's Book Exchange and Brazos Books, as well as the independent bookstore Fabled, and eventually the Friends of the Library book sale. Hoping to get all of them, but we shall see. Anyway, moving on to question number two. Do you ever pre-order books, and if so, do you do this in-store or online? I do pre-order. I have two pre-orders out right now. One is with Powell's for Tolabao Hanaka-kun Volume 17, which will be out in February, unless the date gets rearranged, which it has. And with Book People, I have a massive pre-order for upcoming volumes of Eden Zero. Volume 20 should be coming out next week, although I'll probably get it in early January. And then I'm pretty much pre-ordered up through the rest of 2023. So I am good on Eden Zero for the foreseeable future. I'll just have to remember to check back at some point and do a whole nother pre-order round. And I'm also thinking of doing some more pre-orders. I don't know necessarily about manga. I'm kind of tempted to do some pre-orders for Jujutsu Kaisen and My Hero Academia and maybe others. But I'm also thinking of pre-ordering some history with Amazon, because there are two that are coming out January 3rd that I'm seriously thinking of going ahead and pre-ordering. But I haven't quite made my decision yet, so we shall see. But I do pre-order rather heavily. Question number three, and they are online. Question number three, on average, how many books do you buy per month? This varies. Normally it's around 10 to 15, I would think, and it really should be around 10 or less, really, given the budget I set for myself. Not that I necessarily followed it this year, or much last year either, but definitely this year I have not followed my budget at all. But this year it's gotten to about in the 20s, some in the 30s. Last month was psychotic with about 40. Put me very, very close to 1300, which actually I've hit 1300 books. So when I do my December book haul, so it was about 40 odd books last month. I mean, it was my birthday, so I guess I can get away with it. But yeah, it's usually around 10 to 15, maybe going up into 20. Much more than that, and it's still an aberration. Question number 4, do you use your local library? Up until the pandemic, I did. I would go to my local library every few weeks to check out books and take some back. But with the pandemic, I've stopped doing that. Since I don't drive, I basically have to take a bus. And while the bus, I haven't had as many issues going to the library, although there have been some. The bus can sometimes go on hour-long tours that, while it has some scenic value and cityscape value, can also be, I want to get home. I don't want to make what would ordinarily be a hour trip to be a 2 or 3 hour trip. So with the pandemic, I've largely stopped my going to my local library. Question number 5. If so, how many books do you borrow at a time? So it's been a while, obviously. It's been over 2 years, almost 3 years, since the last time I physically went to my local library. But if I remember, I think the maximum you could have checked out at any time was about 20. And I've never actually tried to test that, but I think it's about 20. Question number 6. What is your opinion on library books? I like them. Not only checking them out from the library, but also if I happen to buy them used. I have a number of ex-library copies in my collection. So anyway, question number 7. How do you feel about charity shops or secondhand bookstores or used bookstores? I love them. Alibris, who is a used bookstore website, I love. Powell's sells used books, and I buy from them pretty heavily. Labyrinth sells used books. 2 of my favorite bookstores outside of Powell's and Book People are Golden's Book Exchange and Brazos Books, both of which are used bookstores, so I'm cool with buying used books. Question number 9. Wait, question number 8. Do you keep your read and TBR piles together, or do you keep your read and TBR pile together on the same bookshelf, or no, not? I keep them together. So basically how I do my library is, you can barely see it here-ish, is where I keep my incoming books, basically the books I'm hauling for the month. Initially, I would collect all of those books, and then at the end of the month, I would do a haul video and log them into my personal library catalog. I have since taken to putting them in the catalog as they come in and then putting them over there until I do my monthly book haul. And this came about because for about a month or 2, I did book hauls as they came in, which has its attractions, but I rather like the one big book haul. Although, obviously, I probably could have done maybe November's book haul. piecemeal, but then again, one long epic book haul. I kind of like long videos, so anyway. But at the end of the month, once I've hauled them on camera, I will then put them where they need to go on the rest of the shelves, which my collection is organized by genre rather than read or unread. So like if I get manga in, they will go to this bookcase behind me. If they're classics, canonical, modern, contemporary fiction, poetry, drama, they'll come over here for now. If they're history, they'll go over here for now. And that's pretty much how I organize them. And I put read and unread together. Question number 9. Do you plan to read all the books that you own? Yes, eventually. It might take me a while because I do bring in a whole lot more books than I read, but I will get to it eventually. And I really do need to actually do a video where I go, what book, and take a look at my collection and go, what have I read and what I have not read. And some of them I maybe should think about sending on their way. Question number 10. What do you do with books that you own that you feel you will never read, felt you did not enjoy? For the moment, I still have them. But I really need to start cycling through them. So I'm going to donate some of the books to the Friends of the Library book sale, which I have done in the past. I'm also going to try to trade in some of them to pals in Portland because they do accept books through UPS, so I'll try to sell some to them for store credit. And I also would like to trade in some to Golden's or maybe even Brazos Book at some point if I can organize somebody to take me. Because while I could take the bus, the last time I took the bus to Golden's Book Exchange, it was not a very pleasant experience, and I've talked about it a bunch, so I'd rather have somebody take me. Question number 11. Have you ever donated books? Yes. I've donated quite a few to the Friends of the Library book sale, and I'm planning on doing some in the future. Question 12. Have you ever been on a book buying ban? No. Although perhaps I should, but I love buying books, so I won't be on a book ban. Question number 13. Do you feel that you buy too many books? Yes, I do. But I'm cool with it. It is one of my few pleasures, so the only problem is trying to find places to put them all, which is going to be a bit of a problem. I do need to sort of start sending books out so that I can make room for those coming in, and probably also start switching out some of my bookshelves and bookcases for bigger ones that can hold more books. So yeah, that was the book buying tag. If you would like to do this tag, like Britta said, you're tagged. So yeah, so that's what I got for now. I'll be back later this evening, probably with either a discussion about classics or my top 10 classics I think you must read, published from 1900 to 1999. One of the two. I was going to do this last week, but then I kind of started to second guess myself. And I'll talk a bit more about that in that video. So it'll be one of the two. And then I'll try to get the 21st century one later, although it might not necessarily be ones I think you must read. It may very well be ones that I must bail redeem, or at least give it a shot. But in our booktube, I'm starting to tremble, so I'll go ahead and sign up for now. So Thank you, BookTube. I'll hopefully see you this evening. And until then, thank you. Have a great afternoon and stay safe.